So welcome back to Never Done Ask with me, John Martin, and we have another station review. 2025 marks 200 years of Stockton and Darlington, and we visited Showdown early in the year, where locomotion made its first fare-paying service, except not quite from that station. So it's only fitting we hit Darlington Station, which wasn't on Stockton and Darlington at all, but North Road was actually really ridiculously busy when I visited, so we're the big one today. So let's remember to stick a Railway 200 logo on the thumbnail and get on with the show. Oh, I've got some drone footage on this one, which will be a first for the channel. As is a standard for celebrations of its nature, Darlington Station was undergoing a rebuild at the time of visiting, which wasn't due to be complete until after Darlington had celebrated the biggest event of the year and one of the largest railway celebrations of the last couple of centuries. But I'm going to take the station as it was when I visited it twice in 2025. Darlington Bank Top Station, as it is also known, sits to the east of the centre of Darlington, up a hill, hence Bank Top. The station sits on Victoria Road. There is vehicular and pedestrian access to the station from a ramp up from Parkgate. The Eastern Gateway Concourse building is accessible from Yarm and Neesham roads. The station sits on the East Coast Main Line. The next station north is Durham, a smidge over 22 miles away, and south is North Allerton, we're around 14.25 miles away. The station provides the junction with the Tees Valley branch lines to Bishop Auckland, heading north-west. The next station is North Road, Darlington, about 1.25 miles away, and to Saltburn heading east with Dinsdale just under 4 miles away. The first line through here was built by the Stockton and Darlington Railway, branching out from their eponymous line to Croft-on-Tees in 1829. This line was then purchased by the Great North of England Railway, who used it as part of their line from York to Darlington. The Great North of England Railway was bought out by the Newcastle and Darlington Railway, which then became the York and Newcastle Railway, and from then the York, Newcastle and Berwick Railway, which became the North Eastern Railway. Maybe not as grand a name as the Great North of England, but that would have led the East Coast Main Line having the Great Northern to the Great North of England, to the North British, to the Great North of Scotland, and that would have been an excessive amount of greats. The first Bank Top Station opened in 1841 as Darlington, at the point where what was to become the East Coast Main Line crosses Stockton and Darlington, a flat crossing at Parkgate Junction. The station was then rebuilt in 1860 to cope with the increase of traffic and took the name Darlington Bank Top in 1868. By the 1880s, the station couldn't cope and was moved to its present site, with a new station was an impressive affair under a massive roof. With the new station came a new line splitting off from the south and joining the old Stockton and Darlington line near Dinsdale, meaning trains didn't have to cross over that flat junction. Darlington was to become a major interchange, not only with the East Coast line and the old Stockton and Darlington, but with a branch line heading south from Darlington west to Richmond and Catterick. Where Stockton and Darlington turned north, a branch headed west to Barnard Castle, and then to the west coast lines at T-Bay and Penrith. Those lines closed under British Rail in the 1960s. The 1990s saw electrification of the East Coast Main Line through Darlington. However, the Tees Valley's line stayed diesel powered. The original plans for HS2 included Darlington, but when the plans for a 21st century transport system were castrated, Darlington lost that link. Department of Transport cast this as a B category station, a regional interchange. The station that I visited had 4 platforms arranged around a large island. Platforms 1 and 4 are the through platforms, with 2 and 3 being south-facing bays. The main station facilities are in the middle of the large island, with a subway link under platform 4 to the station building, with a ramp down at the north end of the island where there used to be some other bays. Platform 1 is a southbound platform 354 metres long. Platform 2 is 181 metres long. Platform 3 is 200 metres long. And platform 4 as a whole is 458 metres long. It can be split into 4A and 4B. 4A sits south of the train shed and is mainly used by the Saltburn towards Bishop Auckland services, where they can wait there while a longer distance service is in 4B ahead of it. It is also used for some terminating Trans-Pennine trains, since neither platforms 2 or 3 are electrified. Platform 5 and Platform 6 are on a separate island to the east of the station. However, they weren't open when I got there, and the site I used for data haven't included them yet. Freight trains use the existing bypass lines, which will soon be served by the new platforms. Marks for services: 8 out of 10. London North Eastern runs service between London and Scotland, generally 2 an hour each way. Edinburgh is a typical terminus, but services can extend north beyond to Glasgow, Aberdeen and Inverness. Stopping patterns vary, but Inverness is 5.5 hours away, Edinburgh 2 hours away. Newcastle, well, under half an hour away, Durham about 20 minutes. Heading south, York 20 minutes away. King's Cross is just over 2 hours away. LNER also runs some services from Leeds to Scotland, and there is also a shuttle between York and Newcastle. In addition, there is a bus service to Richmond and Catterick Garrison run by LNER. This appears on the timetables and display, so I'm including it here. Cross Country run half-hourly services. North, they generally terminate at Edinburgh, but some go to Dundee and Aberdeen. South, some terminate at Derby, most go via Birmingham and then head to places like Reading, Cardiff and Plymouth. Sheffield is 1 hour and 3/4 away. Birmingham 3 hours away. Bristol 4 hours away. Trans-Pennine Express run between Newcastle and Liverpool via Manchester Victoria. Manchester is just under 2 hours away. Liverpool 2.5. Northern trains run on the Tees Valley line. There is an hourly shuttle service between Saltburn and Bishop Auckland, with Saltburn having a separate shuttle service from Darlington, giving 2 trains an hour on that part of the line. It's 20 minutes to Shildon, 25 to Bishop Auckland. Saltburn is just over an hour away, Middlesbrough half an hour away, and there are some Sunday services from Stockton itself, and some peak services to Durham. The most popular destination is Newcastle, with 237,840 journeys, followed by King's Cross, Middlesbrough and Durham. From the 23-24 figures, there were 2,349,906 entries and exits here, giving an average of 6,438 passengers a day. There are 20 off-peak trains per hour, which comes out to 1,949 services a week, averaging 23.19 passengers per service. However, 486,363 people use Darlington as an interchange. So adding these people to the numbers, we get 7,771 passengers a day and 33 passengers per train. Numbers before COVID were increasing, and while numbers have bounced back, they're still not quite up to their pre-COVID levels. Marks for onward travel: 3 out of 5. From the front of the station, we have the X26 bus to Colburn, the X27 to Scotland from Darlington Town Hall. From Clifton Road, opposite the station car park, the non-multi-storey car park, we have the 3 from Skerne Park to Darlington Northgate. Parkgate bus stops have the 2 and 2A, Redhall to Cockleton, 6 Darlington Town Hall to Stockton High Street, 6A and 6B Darlington to Tubwell Row, 13A and 13B Darlington to Firthmore, 18 Darlington to Harrogate Hill, and 29 Richmond to Darlington. If there's an issue with Darlington, it doesn't have a single bus interchange, but various stops at different sides of the station. Darlington bus station is 10 minutes walk away. Marks for accessibility, 9 out of 10. Station is fully staffed with passenger assistance available. There are multiple indicator displays and announcements. When I visited, all 4 in-use platforms were step-free from both the Victoria Road entrance and the ramp down to Parkgate. The 2 new platforms and Eastern Concourse will also be step-free. The subway from the main entrance is step-free as well. Marks for station facilities, 7 out of 10. Most of the station is undercover, and there is seating, including both a waiting room and first-class lounge. The ticket office is open most of the day, and there are toilet facilities here. We have a piano to play on, a photo booth, and a few shops. All the facilities are in the main island, with a few retail facilities outside the gate line, and the waiting areas are inside the gate line. While there are the standard few railway shops, it doesn't have an array of retail establishments like a larger terminal, or stations with this grand a train shed. Unlike many other busy interchanges, it doesn't have a station bar. The taxi rank is at the top of the ramp, which also plays host to some service vehicles. Car parking is a bit confusing as there are various different station car parks. The old station building on Victoria Road now seems to be relegated to being used for parking, and there are surface parking lots nearby. On the other side of the station, there is a multi-storey parking structure next to the new building. National Rail website claims there are 543 spaces for cars and over 150 for bikes. Marks for care and character, 15 out of 20. The station is dominated by the William Bell train shed. The cover this provides passengers not only cover them from the elements, but we give them a faint nostalgic memory of the heyday of the North Eastern Railway. There was a great deal of signage up, celebrating the history and making good use of the columns. There were some floor displays and artworks about. The station clock is suitably elegant. We didn't see the station at its best though. Hoardings up along platform 1 and the footbridge across the track was blocked off. The elegant station building now has little use except for secondary passenger exit and car parking. And everything now packed up into that ramp on the station. The hodgepodge of pedestrian and vehicle entries as well as a standing point for service and emergency vehicles is not the greatest. Marks for nearby things, 5 out of 10. To the east there's a fairly crappy Asda amongst the retail park with a Matalan and other big box stores. With the footbridge out of use you have to go down the ramp, cross a busy road, recross that busy road, then cross over another road. Not great. The footbridge will clear that, but if you're changing trains and have time to go and get some snackage, then this is the way to go, but be quick about it. Heading the other way, the Darlington Hippodrome is close by. Then we reach the Ring Road and Darlington Town Centre. We're not that far away from the shops, but it is a bit of a walk and a bit of a hill. Another issue is the signs from the town centre just say station. And I was only thinking that the road I was on didn't seem quite right. Did I realise I was on the road to North Station rather than Darlington? Poor road signage, Darlington. I did enjoy the Mezzi Turkish restaurant on Parkgate, but didn't get a chance to visit local pubs on the way to the city centre. While in passing, it might be worth mentioning that in the city centre, I did overhear a man encouraging revolution due to people overtaxing billionaires. And there were a lot of Union flags draping for the lampposts. Overall, we have 47 out of 65. Working this out, this gets 72%. This station scores high on its period character with that train shed, as well as a good service, decent accessibility. It loses marks on not having a vast range of facilities and there isn't a single bus interchange. I don't have a Stockton video in the works, so this is the last of my Railway 200 Pacific videos. I hoped those who have been part of the celebrations will enjoy this. Were you? What did you think? Did you visit Darlington during the celebrations? And, well, I guess we'll move on to Liverpool and Manchester's 200th anniversary for the next big one. Meanwhile, I'll still keep travelling around the countryside and I'll still putting these reviews on. Once again, thank you for watching as I do this travel. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, tell your friends, be notified of the next station review. I've been John Martin, see you next time.